Hi all. Today we will be discussing about sacral region. So what is the sacral region? What are the bones which is forming sacral region and what are the articulations which we can found in sacral articulations. So there are five sacral vertebrae and they are fused together to form a triangular or a wedge-shaped sacrum. So this is our sacrum. So it is a fusion of five sacral vertebrae. So all this together forms either in a triangular shape or a wedge shaped sacrum bone. The base of triangle or the first sacral vertebrae, the base of triangle is formed by the first sacral vertebrae and it has two articulating faces that face posteriorly for the articulation of inferior facet of the fifth lumbar vertebrae. So as we all know, the fifth lumbar vertebrae is the one which is going to articulate with the first sacral vertebrae. So this first sacral vertebrae form the base of this sacral triangle and it has two articulating faces mainly to have articulation of inferior facet of fifth vertebrae. And the apex of triangle is formed by the fifth sacral vertebrae and which is articulated with the coccyx. So this is the apex of triangle and it is formed by the fifth sacral vertebrae and it is going to articulate with the small coccyx. So this is the basic idea about what is the sacral region and what are the bones which is forming this triangle and which is the base of this sacral triangle and which is the apex of this triangle and what are the articulations which is forming in between base and the lumbar vertebrae and between the fifth sacral vertebrae and the coccyx. And next is sacroiliac articulation. So one of the main articulations which we can found in the lumbar region or in the lumbar sacral region is the articulation between sacrum and the iliac bone. So we have two iliac bone. So both these iliac bones are getting articulated with the sacrum by forming sacroiliac joints. So the sacroiliac joint consists of the articulation between the left and right articulating surface of the sacrum. So the sacrum got two articulating surface to articulate with both the ilium. So this right and left sacrum are getting articulated with right and left ilium. So what is the properties of articulating surface on the sacrum? So the articulating surface on the sacrum are auricular or in a C-shaped manner and are located on the sides of the fused sacral vertebrae lateral to the sacral foramina. So this is the shape of articulating surface in the sacrum. The articular surface are covered with hyaline cartilage. So the overall mean thickness of sacral cartilage is greater than the iliac cartilage. So as like in all other structures or all other joints, this sacroiliac joint also has two articulating surface. So first one is sacrum. So the sacrum has a cartilaginous coverage. So the property of cartilaginous coverage is that this cartilaginous cover is thicker than the cartilaginous coverage which we can found in iliac bone. So next is articulating surface of ilia. So what are the properties of iliac articulating surface? So the articulating surface on the iliac are also in C shape. In the first decade of life, the iliac surface are smooth and flat and covered with fibrocartilage. The cartilage is different in gross appearance and is thinner than the sacral articular cartilage. So as we said earlier, in the sacral articulating surface, the cartilage is much more thicker than the iliac surface. It is usually described as fibrocartilage. However, type 2 collagen, which is the typical hyaline cartilage, are also identified in this iliac cartilage. So even though we call it as a fibrocartilage, there is a high presence of type 2 collagen. So that basically define it as a type of hyaline cartilage. So that is about two articulating surface of sacroiliac joints. So next one is ligaments. So what are the ligaments which is mainly supporting this sacroiliac joint? So basically the anterior, introitious and posterior sacroiliac ligaments. So these are the sacroiliac ligaments. So it got three parts. It got anterior sacroiliac ligament, introitious sacroiliac ligament, and a posterior sacroiliac ligament. And there is a portion, or there is separate portion, there is a separate posterior portion of the sacroiliac joint which is called as long posterior sacroiliac ligament. And we have iliolumbar ligaments basically to connect between the iliac crest and the lumbar region. So there is iliolumbar ligament, and we have sacrospinous ligament. So this is mainly connect between the sacrum and the pelvic bone, and sacrotuberous ligament. So this is the sacrotuberous ligament which is mainly from sacrum to the pubic symphysis region. So these are the main ligaments which we can found in the sacroiliac region. So the anterior, introitious and posterior sacroiliac ligaments, a separate portion of posterior ligament which is called as long posterior sacroiliac ligament or long dorsal sacroiliac ligament, and we have iliolumbar ligaments, sacrospinous ligament, and sacrotuberous ligaments. So the sacroiliac ligaments as a whole which is extending from the iliac crest to attach the tubercles of first four vertebrae. So this is the crest of iliac. So all these sacroiliac ligaments are getting originated from this crest of iliac crest, and it is going to attach the first four sacral vertebrae. So these sacroiliac ligaments are getting originated from here, and it is passing to get attachment with the tubercles of four sacral vertebrae. The sacroiliac ligaments which are reinforced by the fibrous expansion from the quadratus lumborum, erector spinae, gluteus maximus, gluteus minimus, piriformis, and iliacus muscle. So all the muscles mainly which is surrounding this iliac region are reinforcing the particular sacroiliac ligaments. So that is about ligaments of sacroiliac region. Next one is symphysis pubis articulation, or the articulation which is formed by two pelvic bones. So whenever we look into sacroiliac region, the sacroiliac region has a posterior attachment with the sacrum, and anteriorly these two pelvic bones are getting articulated by the symphysis pubis. So in anterior we have the symphysis pubis to articulate both pelvis. So it is a cartilaginous joint which is located between two ends of pubic bones. So we got two pelvic bones. So both these pelvic bones, pubic regions are getting articulated together in this symphysis pubic articulation. So it is basically a cartilaginous joint, which means that it only permits a limited amount of mobility to the joint. The end of each pubic bone is covered with a layer of articular cartilage. So as a normal structure, these ends of both bones are covered with an articular cartilage, and the joint is formed by a fibrocartilaginous disc that joins the hyaline cartilage covered end of the bone. So we have two pubic bones, and the end of two pubic bones are covered with normal articular cartilage. So to form a joint, this articular cartilage are held together with the help of fibrocartilage. So it is almost become a symphysis joints. That means it only permit a limited amount of mobility. So there are three ligaments which are mainly associated with the joints, that are superior pubic ligament, inferior pubic ligament, and posterior pubic ligament. So as the name suggests, superior pubic ligaments are attached to the pubic crest and tubercles and helps to support the superior aspect of the pubic symphysis joint. So that as its name suggests, it is located in the superior aspect of joint, and it is mainly function to support the superior aspect of the joint. And we have inferior pubic ligament. So as the name suggests, it is formed in between the inferior rami on both sides. So in the pubic bone, we got inferior rami. So both this inferior ram in between these two inferior rami, we have this inferior ligament. So which is mainly to support the inferior or reinforces the inferior aspect of joint. So next one is posterior ligament. So the posterior ligament, as its name says, it is expanding to the posterior surface, and its mainly function to reinforce the posterior surface. And the anterior surface of this pubic symphysis is mainly reinforced by the muscles which are attaching to this anterior surface. So mainly we have rectus abdominis muscle which is connecting to the pubic symphysis anteriorly, and we have transverse abdominis muscle that is also attaching anterior, and we have adductor longus muscle. So all these muscles are the one which is giving anterior reinforcement, and posterior reinforcement is mainly done by posterior ligaments. Superior reinforcement is mainly done by superior pubic ligament, and inferior reinforcement is mainly done by inferior pubic ligament. So those are the articulation between pubic symphysis and the supporting structures or reinforcing structures in pubic symphysis. And next is function of this sacral region. So whenever we talk about function, we have both kinematics and kinetics. So kinematics basically means what are the movements which is happening in this sacroiliac region. So whenever we talk about sacroiliac joint functions, basically we got two functions. One is kinetics and second one is kinematics. So in kinematics, the basic movements which is happening in the sacral regions are nutation and counter nutation. So nutation means the movement of sacral promontory of the sacrum anteriorly and inferiorly, while the coccyx move posterior in relation to the ilium. So this is the mutation. In this mutation, what happens? The sacrum will come anteriorly and inferiorly. At the same time, the apex will come superiorly, and this coccyx is getting moved away from this iliac bone. So this is the iliac bone. So this in nutation, this coccyx is getting moved away from iliac bone. And next one is counter nutation, just opposite to the nutation. So anterior tip of sacrum premonitory moves posteriorly and superiorly, while the coccyx moves anteriorly in relation with ilium. So in counter nutation, what happens? The sacrum will come posteriorly and inferiorly, and this coccyx is moving towards the ilium. So these are the two basic movements which is happening in this sacroiliac region. And next one is kinetics. What are the forces which is acting on this sacral region? So the force of body creates a nutation torque on the sacrum, and concomitantly the ground reaction forces creates a posterior torsion in the iliac bone. So these are the two forces which is opposing in the sacral region. So one is the nutation forces which is formed by the weight, and the ground reaction forces body weights. First one is nutation, which is mainly created by the body weight to the sacrum. So sacrum will go for a nutation force. At the same time, the ground reaction forces create a posterior torsion to the iliac bone. So these are some opposing forces which can happen in the sacroiliac region. The counter torques of nutation and counter nutation of the sacrum and posterior torsion of ilia are prevented by the ligamentous tension and fibrous expansion from adjacent muscles that reinforce the joint capsule and blend with the ligaments. So these counteracting forces of posterior torsion and nutation are mainly prevented by the ligamental support in the sacral region and also the surrounding muscles. So the stability of the sacral joint in the erect posture is mainly done by the ligaments of the sacroiliac region and the muscles which are surrounding the sacroiliac region. Surface irregularities and texture of sacroiliac joint also contribute to stability of the joint in adult. So as we said earlier, in the childhood, the articulating surface of sacroiliac joints are smooth. So when we become adults, so there can be some depression. So there are some irregularities in this surface. So this irregularities also provide a better stability to the sacroiliac region. And there are complementary ridges and depressions as well as the surface textures found in adults reflecting dynamic normal development of sacroiliac joint. So all these abnormalities or all the depressions and the ridges which is present in the sacroiliac joints also provide some amount of stability to the sacroiliac joint. And there are some shearing forces which created in between the symphysis pubis. And it is mainly happen during the single leg support or single leg stand or single leg support phase of walking, and it is mainly caused due to the lateral tilting. So whenever we try for a single leg stand, we can have some amount of lateral tilting of pelvis. So whenever this lateral tilting happens, there can be some shearing forces which is happening to this pubic symphysis. In normal situation, the joint is capable of resisting this shearing forces and no appreciable motions are occurring. So we have this fibro cartilage in between this pubic symphysis, and we got a good muscular and ligamentous reinforcement in this pubic symphysis region. So because of this and because of this surrounding supporting structures, there is only limited amount of movements are actually happening in this pubic symphysis. But in case of any pathology or in case of any muscular imbalance, this can have a very impact on this pubic symphysis movement. So that can have some painful result. So that is about sacroiliac joint.